Outta Gotham, a crazy podcast about DC, with your hosts E-Rock and PD. When we speak up, get your geeks up, cause you know you about to get geeked up. So sit back, relax, and get comfy. Lose your mind like Solomon Grundy, and listen to a show that won't be forgotten, coming straight out of Gotham.
And hello, everyone out in the DC universe. Welcome to another episode of Straight Outta Gotham, episode 131. We are a fandom pop culture podcast and a proud member of the Batman Podcast Network, hosted by Batman on Film. Check out all the other great shows associated with the network by heading on over to BOF, clicking that podcast drop down, and giving everyone a listen. I am your co-host, the senior contributor of Batman on Film from the other side of the Hudson River. I'm Peter R. Vera, and today we're recording on October 19th, 2023. And as always, we have a good show for you today. But before we get into the good stuff, I'd like to remind you, our faithful listeners, that if you take the time to rate and review the show on iTunes and we read your review on air, you just want a Straight Outta Gotham prize pack. So please get on over to iTunes and start reviewing those things like Rotten Tomatoes. Now, let me introduce my partner in crime, the man who took Pamela Voorhees to prom in 1957. Ladies and gentlemen, the champion of Long Island, the stud himself, Eric Holzman.
Wow, Pete. Pamela Voorhees, huh?
She was a dish back in the day. She was a
Hello
dish.
there. Hello there.
But some people say lately she's kind of lost her head.
I need to have the drum roll.
I thought
sounds.
you had it. I thought you had it available.
No, I don't have that one. I have to get that one.
Holzman.
My fault. But yes, before she went psycho,
maybe you're the reason she went psycho. She got a little bit of that Holzman D, and she was like, "I need it."
You know what? In my history, I would not deny it.
That might
be very possible.
I told you, he put the schlong in Long Island.
You mean the long?
It could go either way, actually.
But yeah.
Look at you, Holzman.
I know. What a crazy and adventurous life apparently I've led.
Yeah. Everyone's got to get it in.
All right, yeah, so 131. Wow.
Yeah, it's a long time.
I know, man. I know. I think about it every time we record an episode. I'm like, wow, we're really up to this many. We've gotten this far. But it's all
because Steve Helm keeps listening to us.
Yeah, him. He's probably the one fan that keeps us going.
Yeah.
And Reno, of course.
Reno's in Europe right now.
Yeah, he's in France. So
yeah. Apparently they don't want to talk to Reno because he speaks funky French.
Yeah, they have different opinions on French Canadians than their right. So
yeah, so they're like, oh, he's like, oh, me Reno, yes, from French Canada. Like, oh, you're from Canada, you're not real French. Get out of here. And he's like, no, we talk exactly the same. See, look me, see, you say, and they're like, no, get away from me. I eat my croissant, please. Go away, go back to North America, you loser. Go watch your hockey. And Reno's like, oh, me don't like it here. Me go back to French Canada. It's beautiful Montreal. Yes.
He probably won't hear this till the flight home. So
yeah.
We have time, but yeah. Speaking of Steve, he wants to do something with us, so we gotta we'll work on that as well. Also, our contest winner Andrew, we're trying to hammer down. I think we're gonna do next on the 29th. We're gonna record our episode with him, guys. So we haven't forgot. It's not like we're welching on our our prize. Andrew will be on the show. We're just trying to figure out the exact date and time, and then
logistics.
What exactly we will discuss. Maybe do we want to do something special because we have a different.
We should discuss all of Eric's feats of greatness.
No, that he would have to have a that would require some homework, I would assume. And that's too much. I don't want to scare the guy. I don't want to scare him away. So that would be too much. But yeah, guys, we all that stuff is definitely on out there. We're planning on it. I apologize for the lack of shows. I feel like this time it's been my fault, so I just want to put that out there. We're not going anywhere. I've just been busy, and I really haven't had the time.
In other words, he's been getting it in.
That's not it at all. I wish that was the reason why, but that's not it. That's not it at all. Uh, but no, it's been me. So don't worry, we're still here. We're not going anywhere. And as always, we have a good show planned for you. Some of the information might be a little bit older, but we want to get to it anyway because we feel like our takes are the best takes. So that's what we're doing. We have a lot of news to run through, so let's get into it because
let's get it in.
it's been a while. Like we haven't talked in a while, so it's been a while. Yeah,
it's been like 3 weeks.
Like Stained, it's been a while.
Oh God, Stained or Creed? What do you like better?
Oh, you're bringing me back. I have to start thinking.
You're a big music guy lately. So.
I am. I am a big music fan. So yeah.
Yeah, except for the Beatles because they're overrated.
They are a little overrated. Appreciate their contributions to music. I understand their place in music history. I just think that they're a little overrated, but that's my opinion. Creed or Stain, though, I have to say, when Creed was out, I did like them. So I'm not going to be one of those people like, no, I never liked Creed. No, I did. I did when they first came out. I was a fan. But
with arms wide open,
I'd probably like Stained better. Just because it's more in line with the type of music I listen to. So
depressing.
So. Depressing.
Stained is very depressing music.
Well, Creed has a slightly religious type feel to their music, right? Like they're very so. But I wouldn't say they're a Christian band, but they definitely his influences growing up definitely influenced their music. So I like both. Again, I did, but Stained was probably more what I listened to, I guess.
That's funny.
I don't know. But someone we've been listening to a lot lately is James Gunn. He's been very, very vocal about a lot of different things. Obviously, he has a lot going on with running an entire studio.
Mm-hmm.
And obviously, as we also know, there's a lot of pressure on him to deliver because of how DC has basically been a mess. But he did introduce something during the mess, and that will be continuing. And of course, that's Peacemaker. I think that's something that we all love, a show that we all love, which is a weird one in a lot of ways because the character in the Suicide Squad, I mean, he was great, but I would never have guessed we would get a show based on that character, right?
I didn't really like him that I enjoyed John Cena's take, but I never thought like it would propel him myself to a show, especially one that was as good as it was. Like it was just kind of everything about it was just shocking and surprising. To be honest,
it was, and he is writing season 2, so that is one thing. He said he was going to keep some stuff that worked, and I had a feeling that something that he did that worked, he would definitely keep. So he did. He's writing it. Obviously, it will return John Cena. We know Amanda Waller will be back. And we know she's getting her own show too. Viola Davis is getting a show. Waller, we know that one's coming. So it's another thing off of Suicide Squad and the Suicide Squad that they're keeping. And of course, if you have Viola Davis in something, you kind of want to keep her around. So that's another thing. But yeah, he's writing still Peacemaker season 2. So
I wonder if Peacemaker is going to be in Superman Legacy.
Yeah, I mean, that's something you could probably guess since we know a lot of other characters will be in it. That's another thing that, probably on
he's writing them both at the same time. So it's very interesting.
That's true. He is.
So.
And he confirmed that, yes, it's part of the new DC universe. So then you're kind of like, well, what exactly is it going to be about? Do we have to forget season 1? What's the connection there? That's kind of something that hit my head too when I read this.
I'm just wait and see mode, really.
Well, yeah,
I'm tired of just playing this mind guessing game. I don't care at this point. All I care about is what's on the screen. So let's give me something to watch.
I agree, and he's saying like it's okay to be confused because we haven't seen anything yet. So
confused since 2016.
Yeah, that's a good point. That is a very, very good point. Because yes, it's been confusing since the very first, or how do I put this? The very first screw up, I guess.
Yeah, sure. I mean, that's
that's the way I could say it. because BVS kind of is where everything went left, and
That is the greatest film of all time, Eric.
hey, for some people it is, and if that's your take, then more power to you. I do not agree. That's okay.
I've heard it's the Empire Strikes Back of comic book movies.
You've heard that?
I've heard that.
Who has said that?
People on the internet.
That says a mouthful right there. You know that. People
Just
on the
say
internet.
it. People have said it. I heard it. I've seen it.
Well, I don't agree, but how does something always get turned back to that movie? It doesn't
Because
matter.
it's the greatest movie of all time.
Oh boy.
It's cherry. Eat it.
Well, it's cherry. Eat it? What?
Well, I don't have the Jolly Rancher, so I had to tell you to eat it. It's cherry.
Ah, okay. You're talking about Lex. My fault. Sorry, I was a little slow on the pickup there, but I
Someone
got you
doesn't
now.
watch BVS Weekly. Like me.
My fault. That movie's been out of my head for a little while. I apologize.
Someone doesn't watch cinema.
Debatable. Anyway, something that still is from the old regime, has yet to be released, but is coming. Of course, is Aquaman and the Lost Kingdom. Again, I've been to the movies a few times recently, and seeing the trailer again on the big screen, I'm still excited for it. By the way, I don't care what it has to do with anything going forward. I'm gonna go see that movie as a sequel to the first one and enjoy it. That's my plan. I assume that's your plan as well.
Yeah, man, I'm pumped. I like the trailer. I thought it was cool.
Yeah, but apparently someone did not have a good experience on the set, and I'm talking about Amber Heard. Now, there was a story that broke, it's probably a couple weeks ago now, that there was documents released from her therapist. I don't understand, because I'm always under the assumption that's privileged information.
I don't know if that counts for court orders.
Right, but this wasn't something that I heard like fans got them to.
Apparently, you could pay to have it released. Like
Yeah.
they paid for it.
Again, I don't understand how that happens, but in it, she talked to her therapist and she said things like Jason Momoa wanted her fired and he'd show up to the set drunk. And then obviously that's been refuted back and forth. James Wan wasn't nice to her on the set, and like all of this information came. Huh?
Whatever. To be brutally honest, if that's all going on, I don't really care. She got paid a huge chunk of money to probably work a job she hates. Meanwhile, I'm getting drastically underpaid to work a job I'm miserable at. So I think she's got to bite the bullet on this. I really do.
Yeah, I mean, I agree that that case was so public, and they could have gotten rid of her, honestly, because of everything. And I hate to say it this way, but I have a feeling that if Johnny Depp was in the movie, he would have gotten fired if this information came out. So, I think that's part of the deal here. And I usually don't like going there, but everything we heard about during that trial was so alarming. And
I watched a few of the court episodes. It was very interesting.
Yeah. And it, like, the whole situation was crazy, and these therapist notes guys, I know you all probably read them already, but some of them are crazy. Like Elon Musk apparently stepped in and
yeah, like I was like, who the hell are you to threaten Warner Brothers? Like, go sit around. Give me an edit button on Twitter, dude.
yeah, they were a couple, which I didn't even know.
Yeah, they dated a while ago. Before she dated Johnny Depp, she dated Elon Musk.
So yeah, this whole story was crazy. I just still can't believe that we were allowed to get, that's privileged information as far as I know. So if it was released for the court, that's fine, but how does it then get released to the public, and how could people, I know it becomes part of public record, but that would be just the report or the, what's it called, the transcription of the case, not the actual notes. Like, to me, it's crazy.
I have no idea.
Yeah,
but then again, like I said, like I don't care about any of this crap. Like I care more about the reshoots of the movie and the test audience walking out, than I do about the drama that was all behind the scenes.
Right, and that's like the second part of the article. They start talking about the prospects for Aquaman 2, and what's how they gonna obviously the promotion, because the actor strike's still going on, so they're not promoting it. And this obviously is a lame duck film, as we know. So how exactly is it gonna do? And uh, obviously the first film did 1.15 billion worldwide, so it's the highest grossing DC movie ever, which is crazy when you think about it, but it is.
So nuts.
So you hope that the same people who saw the first one will want to see the second one. But yeah, with all the uncertainty about what's happening afterwards, and then you have Gunn kind of saying, yeah, a lot of those roles aren't going to continue on. Um, again, just like with the Flash and everything that came out this year.
It's so weird to me that people can't go to like air quotes, standalone movie and enjoy it. Like it's got to be connected to the bigger picture, because what's next is what's really important. It's like,
I agree.
I don't understand people. Like, you guys aren't living in the moment. You guys aren't enjoying what's in front of you. You're always anticipating the next thing. That's kind of no way to live life, because you're not enjoying the experiences that are happening right now, right in front of you. You're still waiting for like the next big thing, and what if that never comes? It feels very unfulfilling to me.
Right. I'll just say this: see this movie as a sequel to the first one. If you like the first one and everything in the trailer, that's all it deals with, right? Black Manta's back, and Orm, the relationship with Orm, and all of that is in the trailer, and that's the stuff you should want to see based off of the first film.
Yeah.
So that's why people should go, not because, like you said, of what's coming next, or, oh wow, it's not going to be anything continuing on. For years before this stuff happened, before the MCU happened, it was just, everything was contained, right? So you went then, so why can't you do that now? I don't know. It's
goddamn
weird.
Millennials.
And again, I like shared universes. You're not a huge fan, but I am. So, but it would never prevent me from going. So I don't know, but guys, I know that story's been out, but definitely let us know what you thought about it. I think it's crazy that we even got all that information from
well, it's a DC movie. You need a trade article about bad things to go with your DC movie.
That's true. Can't be a DC film without bad karma going into it, right?
Yeah.
Oh man. Anyway, well, one of the movies, the DC movie that was a hit, that we all got together to see, of course, was the Batman, Matt Reeves' The Batman, which I hadn't watched it in a long time, and then recently I put it on. I'm like, I'm going to watch it again, and it's such a good movie.
It's amazing.
I don't understand. Yeah, I don't understand people who have problems with it. But again, not everyone's cup of tea, so the style is a little different. That's fine. It's my cup of tea, so there we go. But Barry Keoghan's Joker, in the actual film, obviously wasn't a huge part. Then we got the extra scene and kind of flesh it out a little more. But he did an audition tape originally that was for the Riddler, and the audition tape only cost him $10. So guys, everyone out there, if you want to be in a movie, it might only cost you $10 to get there.
It was an interesting audition tape. Like, I've watched it before.
Yeah.
It just came out recently because I think he did an interview with Esquire.
Yeah, he has a movie coming out. I'm forgetting the name right now.
Is it Esquire or Empire? It was one of the two.
I think it's Empire.
Okay, and they did like a whole feature on him, and he was talking about his audition and how he was wanting to do it very like Clockwork Orange, and it was very specific, right. Rectangles, X's, and all that jazz. I was like, yeah, this really fits within like a Clockwork Orange type thing. And while he looks like the Riddler, I get kind of what Matt Reeves saw in making him the Joker. Like, it's kind of that like quiet, sadistic, just like, oh, I'm not expecting this clown to kill me, and then he does, like, because it's just interesting. I think I could see it, and I could see why it's only $10. Like, I don't think anything really is that expensive that we've seen, So
yeah,
I wonder what the $10 actually went to. Was it like, did he like tip the bellhop? Like, hey, look, I'm going to be in the hallway of the hotel. Don't tell anybody. I'm going to be running around for a little bit. Like, I don't know.
Yeah, it wasn't, like you said, it wasn't. We've all seen it. He released it a few months ago, I think. And yeah, it's nothing crazy. But the movie, like his body language, it's all pretty much, that's what it is, all body language. And you're right, the Clockwork Orange style, the Kubrick references, and all of that, very much noticeable. And that's just a testament to his knowledge of film and wanting to portray a specific style. But yeah, he wanted to be the Riddler. And I forgot that. I mean, I remember Jonah Hill was
Penguin.
originally
Rumored to be Penguin.
mentioned, but I didn't know he took the part. I don't remember him actually taking the part.
Jonah Hill for the Riddler?
Yeah.
I think they offered him either the Riddler or Penguin, and he turned both down.
Okay. See, I need to be clarified on that. But yeah, but apparently Pattinson wanted him to play the Joker. So
Oh, really?
yeah. So that's the other layer that I heard in this. So whatever. But yeah, guys, $10. So don't think that something such a small amount can't work in your favor. Because I mean, obviously he's a fantastic actor.
What could you buy with $10 these days? Can you, I feel like I can't even get like a full lunch with just $10. At least in Manhattan, lunch should be $15.
Yeah, it's raw. I mean, there are some pizza specials, maybe like a slice and a soda or something you can get for that, or two slices and a soda, but not much more than that. You know, even the combo meals now at all the fast food places, pretty much.
Which I'm going to start. I'm actually going to start reviewing Taco Bells in the New Jersey area, and I'm going to add them to the podcast because I heard people want food reviews on our podcast now.
Okay.
Yeah, it was a thing I saw on Twitter.
Do it.
Yeah, so I'm going to start reviewing Mexican pizzas and cheesy gordita crunches
from different Taco Bells.
Yeah, I'm just going to travel the state and review Taco Bells and try their tacos.
I'm with you. I think you should.
Yeah, I'm down. So that's a new segment to the show coming. It was, I don't know. It's going to be like Eric's car reviews, except I'm going to be eating. And I'm gonna have
you famously did the one on Batman on film for the calzone for the Batman. I remember that.
God, that thing. Oh my God. I forgot about that. Talk about horrible pizza. Oh, yeah. If it wasn't for the calzone part, that thing would have been atrocious.
Yeah, it's got like that gravelly taste.
I know, dude. I haven't. Yeah. When I was young, actually, a little tangent. Me and the closest thing after to eat was always Little Caesars because like we live in kind of like a little isolated area of town, so there's not really much around us that's within walking distance. So we would get off the bus and like it'd be a treat for us to go to Little Caesars and get a pizza because we were kids, so we had we had a couple bucks, and their pizzas aren't expensive. But now it's like, I was like, good, no, I'll never eat that shit. But it's like 7 years old off the bus. We take the trek down to Little Caesars and get a pizza. It's funny.
Yeah. No, that's. I was lucky enough. There was a pizza place I went to Catholic school, and right around the corner there was a little strip mall, and they had a pizza place in there. So that's kind of where we would go on the way home from school. And I was walking home from school, but. Yeah, I can't.
That didn't come around here until I was around in high school, and by then I could drive to everywhere else.
Yeah, I hear you. So, all right. Well, let's switch houses for a little bit because there's some exciting. Well, depending on your opinion, there's some exciting stuff going on with Marvel as well. We all know that Loki 2 has started. I watched the first episode. I still haven't watched episode 2 yet. I have to get to that. But episode 1 was very, very good. But one of the characters who was first introduced in season 1 of Loki was, of course, Kang, played by Jonathan Majors. And we all know that he's having legal issues.
Yeah.
There's stuff going on. But there were no reshoots or recasting, as we know, for season 2.
Which is really impressive for Marvel because they're really into doing their post-production reshoots.
Yes.
So the fact that they didn't have any... I think it's a pretty good sign.
Yeah, I would think it's a good sign for that. Whatever the case is, they don't believe it's going to be.
I bet for Loki. Cleared. I bet the show, obviously his part wasn't, let's say, as integral or whatever that it had to be shifted. I think
right.
Because I haven't watched. I haven't got a chance. I just haven't had free time to watch Loki yet to get caught up. So I don't know even if he's in the first episode. Is he?
He's not. He is not. His face is, but he's
okay.
Not.
So I imagine he's probably going to pop up later. Again, I think they're teasing him for his big Avengers movie. So
right,
it kind of makes sense to me. Like if they
Yeah, I
said,
mean,
in season 2, we didn't have any reshoots because Jonathan, he's not a major part of thing of Loki. If I had
well,
to say.
no, he was introduced like you said in season 1, and then of course we got more of him in Ant-Man and the Wasp. Um, and it was a different version of Kang. As we know, he has takes many different forms. So it was a different Kang in that one. Then we saw Loki, who was kind of this aloof, silly, character
Mhm.
in that one. The one that we saw in Ant-Man and the Wasp was totally not that. Completely opposite. So yeah, I think going into Loki, a lot of people were probably wondering, well, what's it going to be like? Because he was in season 1, and they were a little bit unsure of what's going on with him. But
Mhm.
apparently, they're taking a wait and see approach, which is what I think everyone should do. Again, in this country, we're supposed to be innocent till proven guilty, but in the court of public opinion, that rarely ever happens. So all it takes is an allegation. So we'll see. We'll see how the case pans out and stuff. But for this show specifically, I agree with you. I don't think he's going to have a huge role in it, if he's in it at all. Him, actually. I don't
He'll
know.
probably I would
So,
imagine be something similar to season 1 where he pops up again
right.
like, "Oh, it's you again." It's like, "Oh, it's not me. This is the other me."
Right.
Like, I feel like it's gonna be like one of those things.
Yeah. So we'll see. We'll see how it pans out. Um, in other Marvel news, the Daredevil series, which we thought was beginning and shooting and everything, well, apparently, whatever direction they were going in wasn't liked. So they fired the writers, and they're going to replace them with new ones. And my assumption is it's going to be closer to the Netflix show than the version we got of him in She-Hulk. That's my assumption, based off of that. So yes, they're revamping Daredevil.
I think between this and the story, which I assume is the next story we're going to come and talk about, Blade. I
Yes,
I find this very interesting that if these were DC Warner Brothers properties, these would be labeled probably the worst TV show ever written, so it had to get canceled. This movie was probably the second worst movie next to Aquaman of all time, Aquaman 2 of all time, and
right.
people walked out. And it's just funny what literally brand loyalty will do, because Marvel can literally throw shit on a silver screen and people will go see it and critique it like it's art. And if DC did that, they would demand their money back and probably storm Burbank. It's just,
Well,
it's
yeah, I
funny that,
mean,
they built it up over so long that, hey, look, we had a couple rough patches and everyone's like, all right, let's know when you get it right. Like, just
right.
wait and see.
Yeah, they're automatically given the benefit of the doubt, right? Like
Mhm.
they don't have to earn anything because
No.
people are invested already. So they're like, oh yeah, it wasn't that good, but we'll still go anyway just to see if it, just to see for ourselves and find out if they're good still or they're crap.
Mhm.
So yeah, I agree with that. But the article does kind of go into dig a little deeper and ask if the TV version of the MCU is slowing down. I mean, I think we're even seeing it in the films, um, as well. I do think the overall genre is probably there's fatigue there, but specifically with the Marvel stuff, we're seeing, which I thought was immune. I think we're seeing it too there because
I never thought it was immune because I thought they were dumping too much on people.
right,
I think the shows really put up, and while I've liked the majority of the shows, to be honest,
yeah,
I think people were like, oh man, I gotta keep up with this. Like, now Marvel's kind of becoming a chore. I feel like it's like, I gotta watch this to watch this, but I didn't like this last thing, like, to kind of keep up with everything. I just feel like they oversaturated the market. I really do.
right. It does peel the curtain back a little though, because they talk about how with Moon Knight, the show creator and writer Jeremy Slater quit, and then Muhammad Diop came in and took the reins.
Mm-hmm.
And Jessica Gao, famously with She-Hulk, wrote and developed, and then Kat Coiro came in and was doing it until the end, where they brought Gal
So their
back in
TV
post.
stuff has had issues from day one. It
Yes,
sounds
it
like.
clearly has. Secret Invasion, although I liked most of it until the finale,
God.
a lot of
I
people
kind
didn't.
of rewatched that, and it's just like, I couldn't make it through.
The finale is what did it for me. Like I
Uh,
liked up until that, I was with it.
The best part of Secret Invasion
So
is that early scene between Rhodey, or what we think is Rhodey,
yes,
and Samuel L. Jackson in that like empty restaurant where he first threatens
yes.
him. After that, it's all downhill now.
I think the scenes with those two are strong. All of Olivia Colman's stuff is strong because she's just very good.
I think killing Maria Hill is absolutely
That was not.
unbelievable.
Yes, that was a kind of a rough pill to swallow. I was kind of hoping that she
Mostly
would
because we're
also.
in love, and I want to see her work more.
Yeah, I was hoping she would be a Skrull, but didn't turn out that she was. So yeah, I don't know. It is weird to hear that these things are happening, but the fact they're like taking it back to formula with Daredevil.
You sound like Professor Strom in Spider-Man.
Yeah,
Norman, we've got to take it back to formula.
yeah,
Back to formula.
I know. It is.
It's interesting because also like they make their shows like they make movies. Like they're always like the articles like, oh, we'll just fix it in post. And I was like, oh wow, that's very interesting. And people are like, oh, now they're learning that you can't really do that in TV.
Yeah, TV's different.
Different.
It's true.
It's different. Uncle Kevin can't help you here, kids. He's like, Uncle Kevin walks in. He's like, all right, this sucks. We're starting over. It's
I mean,
not
even
my money.
yeah, but remember hearing the story about She-Hulk, that episode where they kind of really broke the fourth wall, and
Yeah,
Kevin they had his hat on the camera, and that whole it was great. But like they even had to go to him for that, like to get approval for that. I remember us talking about that, or like, so he still is very much involved. But yeah, just it's TV is a different medium. It's just a completely different medium. And the specific quote that someone said, they didn't give their name to it, but there was a quote that came out and someone said, TV is a writer driven medium, Marvel is a Marvel driven medium. So that right there kind of tells you they think they can do no wrong, and it's turning out that that's not the case.
Oh, well, to be honest, they've been on such a run for the last like 10 years that of course they think they can do no wrong. And then all of a sudden out of nowhere, Luis Gonzalez hits a pop fly on the edge of the infield grass and you lose the World Series.
Yeah.
It happens when you get a little cocky. And that's it. This was inevitable. It just was. There's no way they were going to continue that run and go on the way they were going on. They were putting out $1 billion movies.
Yeah.
Like it was nobody's business. And we all know your favorite movie made $1 billion, and it was, I think, one of the most boring things in the world, Captain Marvel. So it's like when that happened, I was like, Jesus, this is ridiculous. What is this going to stop? And then it did.
Yeah, I mean, everything kind of post Endgame has been up in the air, right? And
well, to be honest, Endgame should have been it, if you ask me. I think Endgame should have ended it, and then you should have rebooted it.
They could have, yeah.
That
would have made sense.
Only because I want more Steve Rogers.
That would have made sense. Well, but that's the other thing, though. With the multiverse, they could bring him back if he wanted to come back. Like, I don't...
Like Keaton, yeah.
There is nothing preventing that.
No, and I'm surprised Tony Stark has not come back yet.
Well, everyone's talking about for Secret Wars, right?
Dude, I was shocked he wasn't in Doctor Strange 2.
So. Yeah, he could have done that. Sure. He could have.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, you also mentioned Blade. And this thing has had production issues from the jump, I feel like. This is kind of like their Flash. In my opinion, Blade has become that. But filming was last report. We know filming was still set to begin in June in Atlanta. The writer's strike obviously shut it down. And then there's a lot of stuff going on here, guys, with Blade. But they call for another rewrite apparently, and
oh man, this is just difficult. I think there's a problem with Blade, and I think it involves violence and blood, and I don't think they know how to make it a Disney type of product.
Well, they're still doing Deadpool.
Yeah,
I mean,
Yeah, I know, but
You know?
that's also wait and see. I got to see what that's like because that's a whole different animal in
You
itself.
keep saying that, but they keep saying that no, it's fine. It's gonna be just like the other
Of course,
ones,
they're going to
and
say that. Of course, they're going to say that. Like they're going to say the company line. That's great. I want to see the movie.
yeah, that's true.
How many f bombs are going to be in a Disney Daredevil, Deadpool movie? Right, like
Well,
a
they'll
Disney
probably
Deadpool
put it
movie.
under Fox. They'll
Like, of
probably
course.
still like say is
It's
Fox
20th century. Yeah, Fox.
right. So they'll just put it under 20th century. That's it. They'll take the Disney part. They won't have the Magic Kingdom thing in the beginning with the whole
Mhm.
Disney. They'll just cut that out. They don't want people to remind people that it's that. It would be funny if they did that, but
But I
no,
imagine there's a joke in there somewhere that they're going to make.
yeah. Oh, I'm sure. I have to imagine Ryan Reynolds does something with it. Like
Yeah.
he's just too good at that. So I'm sure, and he does it in such a charming way that it's
Mhm.
hard to get mad at him. But apparently, everyone who's still attached to Blade is still attached. They haven't changed directors this time. Uh, Everyone's still kind of there. It's still scheduled to be released on Valentine's Day in 2025. But yeah,
How's this movie going to make? How's it going to make? I don't know.
I don't know.
That
I
movie's
don't
going to
know.
get delayed.
Huh?
That movie's getting delayed.
Oh, sure. I'm waiting for that little bit of news to come out that Blade is getting uh Blade will be getting renewed. Yes, I'm waiting for that information. All right, but let's kind of stick still in at least in Marvel, in the MCU. Fantastic Four. Matt Shackman, we know, is the director of the Fantastic Four movie coming up, and he did an interview with God. Why am I forgetting the production?
There's a Collider.
Yes, I'm sorry, brain fart. Thank you. He
There
did an
you go.
interview with Collider where he talks about the development. Obviously, how he has deep love for the characters. He's happy the writer strike's over, so they can get that going. The filming is still planned for next year. It'll be in the spring, and they're filming at Pinewood Studios in London. We all know about that famous studio where so many great movies were filmed. He says he can't give away too much about how it's going to stick out from previous Marvel films, but he says he has free reign to do what he wants to do.
That's not true. Sorry, that's bullshit.
He believes the film will offer a unique experience, unlike anything anyone has seen in Marvel yet.
I don't believe that because he sounds like what's her name was directing the Marvels as well. She said the exact same thing. Here's my take on all this. It's still in production. He's directing it. Let's go forward. I don't believe it. He's still under the Marvel umbrella. They're going to tell him he's got to do this, and this because they're doing that, this, and that. He's got to connect it. So he doesn't have free reign. He probably has I would say he's probably in control of 80% of this movie. 80% of it's his, and then the rest of it belongs to Kevin Feige and what they want to do with the next couple films, including their post-credit scene. But I'm glad he's talking about it. That means he's still attached to it because we never heard anything from Watts about this movie, right?
No, we didn't.
And it's and it kind of, I kind of expect something similar to happen with Fantastic Four that we expect to see with Batman the Brave and the Bold, because I don't think Andy Muschietti is going to direct it. I think he'll direct something else at that point, but I just think they put a name to a film to get people attached because, they thought The Flash was going to be good. So they wanted to get people like, oh, okay, he's still around, so let's do that. And I feel like that's what Marvel did with John Watts up until Fantastic Four, and they found who they really wanted to direct it, so I think that'll follow something similar, but I whatever, dude. Just don't tell me it's going to be different than the rest because it's not going to be. It's gonna be fun. I'm sure I'll enjoy it, but I don't expect it to be groundbreaking.
Yeah, I mean, I don't. The fact that we've had 2 attempts at this and neither one has really landed. That's what's giving me the most. What's it called? The most promise, I guess, because there's still a great Fantastic Four movie out there to be seen, right? For them to make.
You never watched The Incredibles?
Well, yeah, that's a good point.
You never watched Incredibles?
I didn't think I honestly never look at those animated films that way, but yeah, that would be the best, probably one version of it that we've gotten.
Yeah,
But
no, I love that film. I gotta rewatch that movie.
The Incredibles,
Yeah, it's really good,
yeah,
man.
it is. It's very good.
Elastigirl, great tush.
It's a cartoon.
It's fine.
You have issues, serious.
Those guys at
issues.
Pixar, they get me.
Oh boy.
Have you ever heard about Lauer talking about Bo Peep from Toy Story? Don't get me. Please. Don't get me
yeah. They're cartoons, guys. Sorry. Well, Christmas is coming, as we know. First, we got to get through Halloween, which again, Pete and I are still discussing what we're going to do for the show.
Can I get to Thanksgiving before we start discussing Christmas?
But no, we're there. The prep for things for Christmas starts now, like things that people are releasing, new things. Well,
the only thing you should be prepping for Christmas is my gift.
It's all about you, isn't it?
Goddamn right it is.
Well, what about Merry Little Batman? What about that?
Well, that sounds interesting. I'll watch it on Christmas Day. I'm not going to watch it while I'm eating my turkey.
Well, it's going to come out a little earlier. December 8th is when Merry Little Batman will come out. Sees Damian Wayne, Robin, become a miniature Dark Knight. There's a poster release for it. It's very, very cute. I don't know if you guys have seen it, but this is what it's about. It's an animated family action comedy destined to join the rogues gallery of classic holiday movies. When young Damian Wayne finds himself alone in Wayne Manor on Christmas Eve, he must transform into Little Batman in order to defend his home in Gotham City from the crooks and supervillains intent on destroying the holidays. So, the voice cast includes Jonas, I can't say his name, Luke Wilson, James...
Jonas somebody?
Kibrib? I don't know. I tried. Luke Wilson, James Cromwell, and David Hornsby. Directed by Mike Roth. So
I'd like to give a shout out to all those morons who complained on the internet when Warner Brothers and Discovery was selling the animation rights to Batman and complained about it. It's got to be in-house and all this other. Guess what? You are getting your first taste of Batman on Amazon. Enjoy it. Shut your mouths and wait and see. That's all I have to say. So all the idiots who complained on Twitter and were babbling like morons, this is what you got, and it looks fairly interesting.
Yeah, I mean the poster's cute. It's got the Joker kind of overseeing a snow globe with Batman and Little Batman. And
to be honest, those are the same people who did not watch the Aquaman HBO Max 3-parter that we reviewed on this show. That was made in-house. None of you watched it because of the animation style. So you guys don't know what you want. It's like the people who complain about the Green Lantern show who never read a Green Lantern book.
I know. That Aquaman thing was pretty damn funny. That Aquaman cartoon.
Yeah.
That's pretty damn funny. I enjoyed that. So
Mara with her baseball bat was pretty good.
Yes. Sorry, I'm just thinking of the stuff in my head from that show. We got some more information because Batgirl, this thing just never goes away. But yeah, Batgirl Extra is suing Warner Brothers for a accident that they had on set, which I guess is fine. But why are we hearing about it now? And
does this mean that the accident was recorded and we're actually going to see our first footage from Batgirl?
Well, it left her with a broken thigh, shin, hip, pelvis, thumb, and a head gash.
What was she doing? Like grappling from building to building?
Well, she was on the motorcycle, and it does have cameras and says that it was filming, so we might get some footage in the court case.
Wow, we're finally going to get a leak of footage of Batgirl, and it's because of this lawsuit. That might be pretty phenomenal, I might say.
That would be damn funny, actually.
Oh, man. Imagine if the whole movie is now evidence, and it's available for public view.
Yeah, the people on Reddit will get this, too.
Yeah. Oh, man. That's great. That's great. I would love this.
Well, we mentioned Thanksgiving, and there is a new movie coming out, a horror film called Thanksgiving. Eli Roth, of course, who does horror, been in films, is a
Mhm.
horror guy. Blumhouse, all that, all that stuff has really. There's a trailer for this. I saw the little teaser one, and now I've seen the official one. I've seen it in the theaters since I've been to the movies.
Aren't you
I,
excited for this?
I really am. I
Dude,
am
I've been
really.
waiting for this since 2007, since Grindhouse when they did those fake trailers, and this was one of them. I've
Uh
been
huh.
waiting for this for so long. Thanksgiving. Like, I am so excited for this.
It looks really does look good. I'm very, very intrigued. Brutal, yes. Um,
Well, that's just his style.
right. Of course, like it's his style and it's his film, you could tell. But yeah, we're adding another slasher. Like that's how I look at it too. This is gonna
I can't get a
obviously
Jason movie, so I might as well get a Killer Pilgrim.
Killer Pilgrim with an axe. That's what we're getting. And he like some of the stuff in the trailer, like cooking them in the oven and all the stuff that makes that we love
Oh,
about
it's weird.
Thanksgiving.
Oh, it's weird.
It's totally great. I'm really looking forward to this. Again, like I said, every time when I go to the movies now, I want to see that trailer. I keep saying, "Oh, I hope they show the Thanksgiving trailer." So I'm super, super stoked for it, and I just can't wait. I literally cannot wait for this movie to come out. The slate, all the slate coming up. Pete and I have talked about. I know he jokes about Captain Marvel being my favorite Marvel film or one of my favorite movies. It's not, but I do like it more than most, and I'm definitely also looking forward to the Marvels. Obviously, that trailer's been out, and people have been talking about the film. So I wonder. That's a film. I wonder how good it's going to do going forward. Obviously, Pete mentioned before the first one made over $1 billion. With the state of movies right now, I don't know if it's going to do that well, but it's going to be interesting adding Kamala to it, coming off of Ms. Marvel, and now she has a fan base. So you're going to get some of those fans. I'm sure you're going to have some of the Monica Rambeau fans. Uh, Want to see her story continue from WandaVision. And then now, of course, we have the Carol. Whether this is the last one with her, I don't know. That's been kind of rumored about, but we'll see. But those are some of the slate that's going on, and that's coming up. The Marvels. I was just talking a little about the Marvels. Uh,
I'm excited for the Marvels.
yeah, yeah. I was saying like it's gonna have those added layers, obviously, of having Kamala and then Monica
The
in it.
Kamala stuff's the stuff I can't
So
wait to see
yeah,
with her and Rambo and what's her name, Stoneface.
Carol.
Yeah, Danvers.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm excited to see the Marvels.
Yeah, that's coming soon. November. I think the first week of November. I think so. And then,
So
of course, yeah, I think back to Thanksgiving, that doesn't come out to like the middle of November. And I think that's a huge missed opportunity. I feel like they should have released it now.
I always enjoy when movies based on holidays are released around the holiday. You know, so I don't mind it being in November. Like I hate when Christmas movies come out during the summer because I can't even get into them.
Fair.
You know, it's just weird. And I know it's like a December's a weird time to release movies because they always say like, which is not true anymore because I think Aquaman and Star Wars debunked that. That people are out doing Christmas stuff and not paying. You know, they're too busy.
Well, on Christmas, yeah, like on Christmas, that's always been a big day to remove. But you're right. Before, as the season's going on, yeah, I kind of agree with you there.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, but yeah, there's some good things to look forward to at the end of the year. This year coming up. Um, and that's in our space, the stuff we talk about, the Marvels is the next one. So yeah,
I'm interested to see where that goes.
that's what I was just saying. Like, is this the last one with Carol?
Mm-hmm.
Is she done after this?
I just don't know what that movie's going to bring to the table. It's very fascinating.
I don't know.
But I'm interested to see the kind of like I don't know, Freaky Friday teleportation thing. Like I'm interested to see like just Ms. Marvel Ms. Marvel in awkward situations, because I think she's best at like her kind of like what like she's
Yeah.
kind of like, she does the girl who plays Kamala does an amazing job when she's like shocked.
Right. She's a kid, right?
Yeah.
So that's the fun part. The innocence of her being a kid, and then Carol being the stoic one, and
Mhm.
Monica kind of the I guess she's the level-headed one of the three, in my opinion. The most level-headed. But it's gonna be fun to see the dynamic, how they play off each other.
Did you get a cameo in the movie? Did they realize, like, since you're the biggest Ms. Marvel fan on the planet, they're like, we have to have Halseyman on this movie?
No, I didn't. They
For all
asked
the
about you
cameos they've
though. They asked about you because of your Jersey connection with Kamala.
and
So I told them the
this,
Prince of New Jersey was busy. So
I'm not. So thanks, Eric, for throwing me a
sorry.
bone.
Sorry about that.
This could have been my big break.
Could have been.
I could have replaced Kevin Feige and fixed all this.
What if you could be in that kind of a movie? What would you want to be?
Me?
Yeah.
I'd like to be Sal, who makes Harley Quinn the egg sandwich.
That's cool.
That would be my role.
That would be cool.
Short order chef.
Yeah, that would work. That would be a cool little role. I think I'd want to be kind of one of the government agents that are involved. I think that's something. That's
just the guy who wears the black suit and the black tie who doesn't say anything in the background.
We say things, but we're just kind of like the head one who kind of handles the government side of things. I think that'd be a role that I'd like to.
So you want to be J. Edgar Hoover?
No, I don't be the head of the FBI. Like head of not Valentina DeFontaine, whatever her name is. I don't want to be someone like that.
Ooh,
but someone
Julia Louis-Dreyfus.
Yeah.
Still got it.
Or Ross. I don't want to be Ross. I don't know. But it would be fun.
You could grow a decent mustache.
To be in the movie. Well, I have a beard.
Yeah, that's what I said. You could grow a decent mustache.
So, all right.
You could be a Hulk. You could be a Red Hulk.
That would be fun. I don't know how to play. Obviously, everything's CGI now, so I wouldn't get to put on a costume. But
you'd be Hulkman. Eric Hulksman. The Incredible Hulksman from Long Island.
Great. Now I have another name. This isn't better.
That's what we do on the show. We call them nicknames for Eric.
Well,
I'm actually developing a Holes Mania logo as we speak, to be honest with you.
Great. All right. Well, we're at the end of this one. So, Pete, tell them where they can find you.
You can follow me on social media at Pete Illustrated on Twitter, Instagram, Vero, Mastodon, Threads, your sister's ass.
Okay.
You can follow this podcast at Straight Outta Gotham at straight_O_G on Instagram and Twitter. Follow Italians for Spidey at it's actually the Italian Spider-Man Coalition at Italians for Spidey on Twitter. Check out the Batman Book Club. I'm there with Ryan Lauer. I got a special episode this week for this month, the Long Halloween special. BatmanOnFilm.com, Batman on Film YouTube, Batman on Film Podcast. I'm all over there.
Thank you, sir. You guys know where to find me on Twitter or X, whatever we call it now. It's at Finally33, spell Finale 33. Pete mentioned this SOG handle at straight_O_G for all of the news and information and everything revolving around the show. That is the account you want to hit up. Of course, Facebook group. Definitely, guys, start interacting there. Let us know what you think about the shows. Any ideas you have, just post them up in the comments. Post them up on the board, and we'll get at it. Listen to you. Again, we'll be having our contest winner on probably within the next recording or the following one. So look out for that. And definitely get the rate and review, as Pete always mentions. Rate and review on iTunes. Get over there. We haven't given a prize out in a while, so we want to.
Yeah, what the hell are you guys doing? Is it like free stuff?
Yes, we want to give you some prizes and show you our appreciation for you listening to us, because we do appreciate that you choose us among all the other shows out there, that we are at least one of the ones in your rotation. We definitely appreciate that and all the love and support you've given us from the beginning. All right, I think that's it. So for Pete, I'm Eric. You're listening to Straight Outta Gotham. We'll see you next time.
Booyah!